Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. I'm FM Tahiti and this is By the Numbers with Belfast Celtic. And if I look a little tired and rough around the edges, it's because it's really late and I'm really tired and rough around the edges. Just trying to squeeze in a recording of an episode because it's been a while. I've played quite a few matches actually since the last video. In fact, I can't remember when the last video was, but have a look at this kind of stretch. So the last time we picked up a point was when we had a 0-0 draw against Cliftonville. We lost 3-0. Got absolutely smacked around the park, 8-1 by Crusaders. Wasn't expecting them to do that to us. Like I wasn't expecting to win, but I wasn't expecting to be humiliated. So we gave back a fair amount of the away fans' money. Not that there was many. It was 297 actually, quite a few away fans. Because CV was also just by Belfast, so there we go. We lost 3-2 to Ballymena, and then we lost 3-1 against Institute. We've got 3 normal games of the season left before we split. Sure we do split, don't we? Yeah, 38 games, we split after 32. So currently, we're in 10th place. Our form is terrible. We've got 20 points, which means we're only 1 point above Portadown and 3 above Dungannon. And Portadown are in that relegation playoff place, and Dungannon are in the automatic spot. Last season we finished with where were we? 35 points and minus 14 goals. And we're currently on minus 35 goal difference. And only on 20, so I don't think we're going to get another 15 points from the last 8 games. I don't think we've got it in us, to be honest. In terms of for and against last season, 48 for, 62 against. This season we're looking at 19 for, 54 against. So it's the fact we're not scoring which is the biggest issue, really. We're not scoring anywhere near that. We're not even at halfway point, and we've almost played the same number of games. We're conceding less technically currently. We've only got about 8 goals of leeway in it, but it's not our defence, it's our attack, which seems to be causing the problem here. In terms of what's going on with the squad, I've got all of these attributes and stats up there. I've used the Female Football Manager's spreadsheet to try and help with the selection. I've also got the FM Athletes training spreadsheet, but I'll do more about that in another episode in the future, just because there's no point training this bunch because they're useless. But I will go over that in another episode because it's very stats heavy and I quite like that one. I've been trying to look at this to work out, is there any hidden gems? Am I missing something? If we look at things like points per game or game win percentage, because overall we've got such a bad record, this is really low. And the ones who get slightly higher ones are the ones like Adam Spence, Kevin McCallion, who've come on as subs in games where we've won or in games against lower league opposition. And if you look at the strikers, it's only Lee Bonnis that's getting more than a point a game, and we decided he wasn't good enough. So I feel like we're kind of getting towards the last throw of the dice when it comes to the actual squad itself. We've got a few changes to make. I'll talk you through them in a second. The other thing to mention before we play the match, we're just going to have the one match against Dungannon, a big 6-pointer really, is the fact that I put on Chilled Moose's, or at Chilled Moose, Laura's face pack. So I've joined the patrol. This is a real face. That's what Paul McLaughlin is, a real person. Big C there's Ricky McQuitty, the best named player in the West. Neil Mullen. Carl Robinson is a real player. Adam Spence, Mark Ward, Scott Williamson, Jeff Wright. You can see some of these faces for some of these players. It just makes the game a lot better. So I've added that. What I've also done, as you'll see during the match, is added some ad boards or ad hoardings, which I've not tried out in this game actually. So we'll see what they look like in a little bit. But yeah, so we're playing Dungannon. Dungannon have got 17 points. If we win, that gives us 6 points clear of them with 7 games to go. So it's not a guarantee, that will be out of the woods or anything like that, but it gives them a big job. If they win, then that puts them level with us and they've got a better goal difference. So we will drop down at least one place. And if we draw, then it just keeps this very small gap between us. Across the back, we've got Williamson, McGovern, Coulter, McQuitty. The only sort of change I would make here if he's available, and I cannot remember if he is that's one thing. McQuitty I would normally put here, and then in the right back position I would have Clark or Little. We'll put Little in there. He was suspended for a match recently. And then on the right hand side, we've not got many options. So Thomas Heron coming back from injury, so we'll bring on Robinson. And then on the left we've got Dunn, but he is injured. No, sorry, suspended, so we'll bring on Gordon for the moment. Put Neil Mullen, who's on trial. It's whether I think he'll get us enough goals to save us in the last few games, so give it a few more days so the scouts the coaches find out a little bit more about him. Who else are we going to put on the bench here? Clark. Put Clark on the bench there. So then we've got Gordon Robinson there, McGreevy, Cockcroft, Cloughlin on board. McGreevy would normally be replaced by Jeff Wright, but he's also suspended. We've had a few discipline issues. In fact, it's probably worth showing you on the table. This is my favourite bit of the season, to be honest. On team detailed, go down to defending. Fouls made. We've made 759 fouls. The next closest 487. Won the most tackles as well, which is also interesting. In terms of yellow cards, we've got the most yellow cards. We have the worst disciplinary record with 95 yellow cards and 9 red cards. So we're doing alright on that. That bit of our game plan is working. Let's see how we do. We need to win this match. If we don't, and it looks like it's a goal scoring issue, one of the things I'm going to go away and do is do the XG for this and break it down. Tactically, I know this tactic can work. It's just not been working. Just point, Paul McLaughlin has only played a few matches for us because we brought him in. He's a new signing, which I didn't mention before. So we brought him in because we'd be playing Colin McCallion, and how many has he got? 37 conceded in 26, 6 clean sheets. So actually, it's not that bad, but he is meant to be better, but not by much. So again, he might be on his last because conceding 17 in 4, with one of those being that 8-1 loss, no clean sheets so far. Yeah, it might be his time, which means he's not been given much of an opportunity, but he didn't have much time left really to give him the chance to bed in. I thought maybe by signing him we'd be able to just shore up the defence, but as we've pointed out, it's not really the defence or the number that we're conceding, it's the lack of goals going forward. That's the big issue at the moment. There you go, McLaughlin knocks it down. Robinson, nowhere to be found. Back it goes. Don't know if you can see it particularly well on this one here, but when we go back to the highlight, you should be able to. We've got the ad hoardings or ad board mod on as well, which I mentioned in one of the Dictated Game articles, which then just adds more club and league specific ads. So, for example, if you're playing as Arsenal, they have lots of Emirates ones. Playing as Cardiff, they've got Welsh-centric ones. If you're playing in Scotland, you've got more Scottish companies coming up and things like that. It includes some of the animated ones as well. Ward brought that down alright. Little, Robinson, cut it back in. Gordon, is Gordon already hurt? Yeah, he is. What I might have to do is bring McLaughlin back to play on the left. Bring on Hunter. It's not a great sub, to be honest. Go on, Gordon. Brings it down, gets it in. Ward scores. That's not a bad cross in from the injured Gordon. Niall Gordon, one of our youth intake, doing bit parts for us. It's a good finish. It's Ward's 9th goal of the season. I think it dried up his goal scoring very early on in the season. Ward getting close again there. And we are, match stats wise, beating them. But it's whether the quality of the chances happens to be there. Cockcroft back into Gordon. He's doing alright considering he's got the injury. Greavy backed. Little Robinson. Go on, get it in. Ward straight at the keeper. Promising move, but wasteful. Because that shot, go on Ward. So that shot that he missed, or fired straight at the keeper before, was right in the centre. Very close to the keeper. Oh, he's offside. That's alright. It looked like he was going to go in anyway before he touched it, but that's alright. Yeah, Ward's chance before, that would have had a high XG value, like an XG value of 0.3 at the very least. Because he was so central and so close, he should have done a lot better with that chance. I'm pleased. Now Gordon's going to have to come off, isn't he? I'm going to have to make that sub. Let's bring on Reese and then swap Reese with McLaughlin because he can play on the left. And Reese we normally play as a deep lying forward when we have to. Reese Hunter had that really good cup season. He's never really replicated that in the league. Last season or the season before when we won the cup, he was blasting them in on the way to the final. I'm not sure what else to do sub-wise. Cockcroft isn't playing well, so he might be the next one. Bring on Downey maybe. 6'4" Downey. Base pack makes such a big difference. Seeing these two players swap around and having them actually look like human beings is amazing. Clocklin with a little tackle there. They're knocking it around far too well for us. Shoddy. Potentially. I was really worried that was going to go in. Robinson goes long. Chasing us down. That's an error. Oh, come on. It's a good job he got that one. That was the fact that he managed to get to that loose ball first and then slam it against the post. Terrible keeping though. I'd have been fuming if that had been against me. Bad first touch, but we are closing them down. Yeah, that could have been horrible for us. I think we might be alright now with 2 goals. Nah, but lectures McGreevy. McGreevy doesn't care about your lecture. Good save. Paul McLaughlin. This might end up being his first clean sheet. We got Irish Sea, P&O Ferries. Come on, Hunter. Robinson. We break. Always passed him. That wasn't bad. McLaughlin arrives late. Almost. I thought he had that in. Oh, there's Hunter. Good ball in, actually. And somehow a penalty was given, and I don't think that was. We'll take it just to kind of crush Dungannon. And we missed. Didn't matter then anyway. Yeah, if we can win and crush their morale, that's great for us. Ward taps it in. His 10th. Makes him look almost like a competent striker doing that. All from the long throw. McQuitty nodding it on. Yeah, if Dungannon end up kind of crushed and destroyed by this, that takes up that automatic relegation spot. I think we'll be fine if we end up in the relegation playoff. I think we're better than most of the teams in the Championship. even if we've not played well this season. Coulter, almost. I am really stuck with how to improve the team though if we do stay up next season, because our rep's not increasing vastly. Stewart, oh, they've got one back. Still not enough time for them to overhaul, but that means no clean sheet for Paul McLaughlin. Good job they didn't do that too often this match. Come on, blow the whistle, ref. Gotta be done. At least it puts us slightly more in control of our own fate as well now. Because until this match, the only reason we were really above the relegation zone was because of other teams being worse than us. It wasn't because we were good enough to survive, it's just that we weren't as bad as everyone else around us. At least now, that keeps us going. See what the rest of the results were. I think that was pretty special. 3-1's a fairly good away win as well. Portadown drew. We beat Dungannon. Glenavon are 7 points ahead, but it doesn't really matter. They won their match, but I don't think we're getting above 10th place this season, the last 7 matches. The last 7 matches gives us 21 points potentially. So, you know, we could finish on 44, which would be up here, but actually by the time the league splits, the best we could get is 29. So we'd still be in the second half no matter what happened when the league splits in 2. That's up to our goals scored a little bit. We scored 7 against Dungannon, and barely any goals against anyone else. So you can see that's a real... Goal scoring is really the issue for us. And if we look at the squad and look at the kind of... Change the filter here. Just have the attackers on there and look at some of the attacking stuff. Shots on target per 90. Getting 1 to 1.5 at tops. So yeah, McLaughlin and Ward are up there at the top and they're getting what? They're not even the best. Is this Bonis? Bonis is there. Reese Hunter's doing okay stats wise there. Chances created per 90, they're not particularly creative. The ones we've got there are doing the business. Shots per 90, they're not actually getting away that many, and they're being boxed out of the game a little bit, I think. Whether this is significant or not is a different matter entirely. So at the end of the season we can pull it apart and see what's going on, but at the moment my feeling is it's our strikers who have let us down. And again, if we look at last season, Ward played 14, got 5. He's played 30. Well, he's played 35 and got 10. He's not really scaled up. Bonis and Devlin were the ones scoring. Maybe we need to bring Bonis back in. Bring him back in from the cold, give him one last chance. Same with Devlin. They've not really had a chance this season. I keep second guessing ourselves about them. Their attributes suggest they're not good enough. The Female Football Manager spreadsheet suggests they're not good enough. Their goal scoring record this season, the chances they've been given, also suggest they're not good enough. But historically they have been. And then I guess Bonis is 27, but Down is 25. They're both in the right kind of age group. It's not like they're getting too old and their legs have gone. We'll come back and have a look at them. Schedule wise, we've got Glentoran and Glenavon. I'll play these ones off camera and then we'll come back for the kind of relegation group stage. Thanks as always for watching. Stay safe, keep well, and I will see you in another episode.